Cork Farm, everyone, and Farming Simulator 22. It is great to be back on the farm. So we are headed into the barn here to pick up our bale wrapper. There it is. And I did something silly, which is I went ahead and baled up our field of grass, thinking I was recording when I wasn't actually recording. So unfortunately, we've got this grass field all baled up. It is ready to be wrapped, and I have no footage from the baling. We'll go ahead and pick the wrapper up now and get that done before we go plant our field of soybeans. That way our silage can be fermenting and we can get that going. Look up. There we go. Alright. So, we're going to head back out to the grass field. We're going to get these bales wrapped. Then we'll have to switch the planter over to soybeans and get cracking on our last field. So, I'll see you over there in just a little bit. And with this bale, we have wrapped the final bale of this field. That is a good project to have done. Grateful to have it done. Takes a little bit of time, but honestly, this in-cab view is probably the best way to get it done. Really simple to get the bale lined up with the wrapper and all that kind of stuff. So that was pretty fast. Now it's time to head into the other field and start harvest. Before we do, I think we should check on the chickens, make sure that they have all the feed that they need and are not dying or not healthy and still producing all of the eggs that we need them to produce. I'm going to switch the weight back to the front side here real quickly as we are done with it on the back for the time being, and we'll head over and check the chickens. Well, it's a good thing we came and checked. We got 93 liters of food. I think we're going to go ahead and fill that up. I feel like it's been an episode or so since we did this. I don't remember doing this in the last episode, but maybe we did it early or maybe I did it off camera. So I do have the wheat just sitting here in this trailer, wide open to the elements. Hopefully it didn't get rained on. We'll go ahead and fill our chicken trough, our chicken food trough here, and then we'll put the rest of this, I think, back in the silos just so that it's stored up for us. All right. If I remember correctly, the last time that we did this, we slept, basically filled it, slept, month advanced, and then went back and had to refill it again because the month advanced. So this silo position kind of drives me nuts just a little bit. It's not in an ideal place for us. There's no way to pull through, right? All kinds of stuff. So I do think that this is a place where we're going to have to work on potentially upgrading this farm at some point, is finding a better spot for our silo. The field over there on the other side of the house could be a good spot for it. That would be a actually a really decent spot for it if we get the money to flatten that out and maybe put in a little bit larger silo system. Of course, that's maybe a little more American in nature than what Court Farm is, but that's okay. It's going to be a little bit of a hybrid sort of farm at the end anyway. You know what? We are going to leave this tipper right here. I don't know why it needs to go anywhere else, or why I really need to stress about getting it pulled out of here at this point. And we are putting soybeans in the field now. So that will be the last planting that we have to do this year. And then we'll have to figure out something else to do on the farm. Because all of our fields will be planted, our chickens will be taken care of, and not a whole lot else to do right now because we don't have a whole lot of money. So we'll jump that hurdle when we get there. Well, I have run out of seed, and I'm actually not sure where. I wasn't paying any attention, so we'll run over to the... We gotta run over to the front loader over here. What the heck is this thing called? The telehandler. And we will grab some seed bags and go fill this tank. Now, this is going to be a little test because I don't know if we can fit 2 bags on this telehandler or if it's only going to take 1 at a time. We'll see how heavy they are. Although I guess we did load them with the telehandler, right? And this bag shouldn't be full either. Yeah, it's a little bit lighter. So I think maybe if we're lucky, we can go ahead and finish off this field. You know what? I'm actually going to take this one from this end because of where I've got it. Hopefully we can finish off this field with just 1 bag plus this partial that's already on the telehandler. At least that's what we're going to try and do. We'll see if it works. We are going to have to drive over this field just a bit. We back up and get into position, but that's okay. It's not going to damage anything, I don't think. At least not too seriously. Yeah, we're a little off. There we go. That should be better. We'll just push forward on it there. And got it. All right, we are good to go. Hopefully, oh, there we go. Slide it back a little bit. All right, run over to the other field real quick. Get the planter full. Go in the right direction. Yeah, close enough. Really don't want to drive across this field, so we'll go around and get over there. Now, everything that's been done so far has taken, what, the 500 or 600 liters of seed that was in the planter to begin with. So I do feel like if we're lucky, hopefully, this will be enough. Now, this seems really finicky on where it will open. And of course, we've got the full bag going in first. And then we'll reposition and get the second bag in as well. Open. Must have been a little too high above the ground there. All right, let's go park this over here on the side. Back in the planting tractor. Finish this field off once and for all. I did forget that we would have to try and figure out where it is that we stopped planting, although the texture changes, right? So that tells us at that point in time we were just using the power harrow. The planter wasn't actually putting any seed in the ground. Oh, not too far back. I paid good enough attention. So there we are right here. Noticing that that area right there is planted strangely, so that's interesting, but we'll go ahead and get her fired back up. We'll get going. Here we go. So as we're finishing up the headlands of our last field here, we need to start to answer the question, what are we going to do now? So we have to prepare the fields for potentially either, if we could fertilize, that'd be great. If we can get ourselves ready to run some herbicide, that would also be good. Because I'm going to guess that they're going to get weedy. Although we did plow, so maybe we'll avoid that this time. One of the things that we need for fertilizer is either a sprayer or a spreader, and we of course do have the spreader that we used for lime, so that would allow us to do a dry fertilizer. Oh man, this is terrible. I just drove right into that wall. So we do have what it takes to do a dry fertilizer. But we kind of need to get that thing in the field in one of the first few stages of growth here so that it doesn't, ruin part of our crop. So maybe we need to think about that and try and get a first layer of fertilizer on. So in the game, the way we're playing right now, and there are multiple settings for this, but in the way we're playing right now, we just need to get 2 layers of fertilizer on our crops in order to get the maximum yield from our fields. The problem is that, again, one of those layers is going to have to come after the plants are up. And so ideally that would probably come in a sprayer form, although we could probably run our little spreader there around the field as well, as long as we switch our tractor out with some row crop tires instead of these big, thick, regular tires. Overall, though, it shouldn't take too long for us to get that done. What I do want to do before we do anything else, because I'll tell you what I would love to get on this tractor before we do any fertilizing or potentially spraying, is I want to sell the plow that's back here, because we just simply don't need it. Again, I think that we have decided, or I think that I've decided, that it makes more sense for us to just rent a plow, because we're only going to use it once every few harvests anyway, and then we'll just
get what we need and borrow it and then send it back. For some reason, it's not getting on the tractor here. Let's see if I can back up here and there we go. Not sure why it wasn't catching the trigger there initially, but we are good to go now. Hopefully it doesn't catch the harvester. Alright, I'm gonna head up to the shop and see what we can get for this thing, as long as I can get out of the yard. Oh, for Pete's sake. Hey, there we go. Cleared the door finally. See how many other things I can hit on my way out of the yard. Probably need to drive a little bit slower to try and make sure I get around these turns and everything the right way. But it is what it is. So, alright, I'll see you at the shop. We'll see if we get enough money for what I want to do. We are at the shop, and it is time to see how much this plow is worth. 13,000 pounds. That is beautiful. All right, that is great. We are up to 24,000 pounds and going to generate for us quite a bit of things that we can do. Oh, I forgot what I was going to do up here. I was going to purchase something, but it's actually an upgrade on the tractor. So we'll jump in here and we will customize the tractor, and we are going to add GPS to this tractor. So I don't know, did that just show up? Blink, blunk, blunk, blunk. I don't know. Doesn't look like it. I don't know where Massey... Maybe it's just functioning now. Anyway, we are going to add GPS to the tractor for 15,000 pounds. That is going to make life quite a bit easier for us when we are in the field. I really enjoy that mod. So let's go ahead, get the tractor started. We'll head back up to the farm and on to our next adventure. As we pull into the lane late at night here, you'll notice that our bank account has taken a bit of a jump. We're now at 22,000 pounds, and that is because we have been doing a little work for one of our neighboring farms. So as we head into the house to get ready to sleep and head into May, we're going to end today's episode with some footage from that work we did for a neighboring farm. I hope you enjoy the footage. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And until we see each other again on the farm, stay happy, stay healthy, and keep growing.